Welcome to This Week in Drone Capital. The story of the week is that drones are no longer a niche hardware category. Across the latest Drone Capital posts, capital is concentrating around three things: defense demand, cheaper counter-drone systems, and commercial networks that are finally moving into scaled operations. In this roundup, we will look at how investors are pricing defense drone leaders, why counter-drone economics are shifting fast, how delivery operators like Zipline are expanding, and why contracts, regulation, and government marketplaces matter just as much as the aircraft themselves. I will also cite the original source articles behind each claim so you can trace the signal back to the reporting. The first theme is capital concentration. Yahoo Finance framed the Kratos versus AeroVironment debate around rising unmanned systems demand, while tech startups highlighted a €500 million raise into a 2-year-old drone maker at a multi-billion valuation. Crunchbase added the broader context by reporting record defense tech startup funding as investors begin thinking about exits, not just experimentation. Put together, the message is clear. Investors are no longer treating drone infrastructure as a speculative side bet. They are rewarding companies that can show manufacturing scale, defense relevance, or a credible path to platform economics. In other words, the category is being repriced from gadget risk towards strategic industrial capacity. The second theme is counter-drone economics. DroneXL reported on a 55-pound Chinese laser that can burn drones in 4 seconds and separately profiled Maxon Systems building a $3,500 autonomous interceptor for Shahed-style threats. Defense Scoop then reported a $500 million Pentagon award for counter-drone systems, while DHS described a new office focused on advancing drone and counter-drone technologies. The important shift is not just technical, it is economic. As lower-cost intercept tools arrive, governments can defend more airspace without matching every threat with an expensive missile. That changes procurement logic, opens room for software and autonomy layers, and makes counter-drone one of the clearest monetization lanes in the market. The third theme is commercial scale. DroneXL reported that Zipline is adding Austin to its Texas drone delivery push, and DroneLife described how delivery expansion is quietly reaching more of the United States than most consumers realize. Skydio's own breakdown of new FAA BVLOS rules helps explain why this matters. Once beyond visual line of sight operations become more routine, the market shifts from isolated pilots toward repeatable logistics networks. That creates a more investable business model. Winners will not just be the companies with good aircraft, they will be the operators that can combine regulation, route density, software reliability, and local market expansion into a durable delivery network. That is where drone mobility starts to look like infrastructure rather than a demo. The fourth theme is that procurement architecture now matters as much as product novelty. ClearanceJobs reported AeroVironment landing a $117 million Army drone contract, the US. Army described new efforts with allies and partners to expand drone and counter-drone marketplaces at Eurosatory. And DroneXL's World Cup reporting, alongside DHS and FEMA-linked spending, shows how major events can accelerate real-world airspace security budgets. Together, these signals suggest that growth increasingly comes from access to procurement channels, alliance buying structures, and long-duration operational trust. For founders and investors, that means the winning strategy is not only better hardware, it is also integration into the institutions that decide what gets bought, certified, and repeatedly deployed. Quick pause here. If you like these source-linked weekly breakdowns on drones, defense tech, autonomy, and capital flows, please like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment on what you want covered next. I can go deeper on defense procurement, counter-drone systems, drone delivery economics, public market winners, or the startups raising the biggest rounds. Your feedback helps decide which signals become full explainers in the next episode. Now let us wrap up the bigger lesson from this week's Drone Capital posts. So what is the takeaway from this week's Drone Capital Roundup? The drone market is maturing into a full stack. Capital is chasing scale defense platforms, counter-drone tools are getting cheaper and more urgent, commercial delivery is becoming a network business, and procurement systems are deciding who actually converts attention into revenue. That combination matters because it separates the next phase of the market from the last one. The winners may not be the flashiest demos. They may be the companies that line up cost-effective autonomy, trusted operations, regulatory access, and buyer relationships all at once. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next weekly Drone Capital update.